I just really didn't understand how much money would have went into it in the beginning, and I ended up spending a lot of money that was unnecessary. I actually came here first, and then I went to the big brokerage, and they were just like selling this big luxury lifestyle. So you really need to sit down and think about like what's going to be my plan.
For me, and this is a big thing too that a lot of agents miss out on, is lead generation. You have to, that is your lifeline.
Yes.
Please, if we can learn from our mistakes, please do, but just stay consistent. Well, hey, and welcome everyone. I'm Monica Dunlap, broker and owner of Totally About Houses, and welcome back to the channel. If you're thinking about becoming a realtor, all right, or you just got your license, stop what you're doing and you have to watch this first. So today, you laughed a little bit.
Right.
We got some good stuff for you. Today we're diving into things what I wish I knew before becoming a real estate agent. Really good topic because it is not all sunshine and rainbows and a lot of people think it is.
Yep.
And they think I'm gonna get into real estate, I'm gonna get my license, I'm gonna make a lot of money, and I'm gonna be just like them. If they can do it, I can do it. Probably not, right? You're laughing again because you know, right, Monet?
Yeah, I do.
You know? Today I have a very special guest with me, the one and only Monet.
Hi, I'm Monet.
You know, very inspiring agents and have the pleasure of working with as well.
Yes.
And Monet, you've had a little bit of a journey with real estate.
I have had a long journey so far.
All right. Well, tell me a little about yourself.
I'm Monet. I got my license maybe 2.5 years ago. The first year I went all in and spent $13,000. I'll tell you about that.
Oh my goodness.
And got no sales. So, but now I'm back in it and we're starting over and we're going to get there.
Yeah. So like you said, let's talk about the fantasy versus reality.
Yeah,
right?
So it definitely was a wake-up call. I thought that I could just get in and I'll just be making millions of dollars, and I'm like, if I could just pass my license, once I take this test, I'm gonna be ready to roll, and that is not how it works at all.
No.
It was definitely a wake-up call.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not as glamorous as it looks on TV either. Everyone's like, sell it like certain.
Yeah, you watching like HGTV, and I'm like, oh, I love houses. You know, I did property management before for years, so I thought, oh, well, they're getting all this money. I see all this money coming in on the rent roll, and I'm like, I could do this. I could be selling these houses. I could get this, and it's not that easy.
It is not. And what nobody tells you is that real estate is a business.
It is.
And that's the big key. And like any other business, it does take time to grow.
Yes.
So, and what about just the career itself and the emotional part of it?
So it has been a very much emotional roller coaster. You're gonna have days where you want to cry. You're gonna have days you're excited. You're gonna have days you're excited and crying the same day because you think you got something and then you don't get it. So it really is an emotional roller coaster. You're gonna have highs and lows, but if you just keep sticking with it, eventually you'll get there. You'll be happy in the end.
Yeah, and you just brought it up before. 13,000 almost gave me a heart attack.
Yes.
So let's talk about expenses with real estate.
So my first year of real estate, I spent $13,000. I was going to all these different events, trying to talk to people. I'm buying all this advertisement, getting these signs, posters, all this stuff that was not making any money. You know, you got dues and stuff that comes with it that people don't know about. You know, monthly dues, and then you got dues from like your MLS system and all that. So I just really didn't understand how much money would have went into it in the beginning, and I ended up spending a lot of money that was unnecessary. You know, I went with a brokerage that didn't really support me at first, and so a lot of the stuff they told me to get, it was just for glitz and glam, but it brought no business. So.
Yeah, and that's what you have, and I feel real estate agents are easy targets.
Yes.
You got a lot of marketing companies out there. As soon as you get their license, they have your number. So they're dialing you up and say, hey, you want to get some sales? You want to sell real estate? Hey, order these pens, and these are going to get you real estate. order these little pens and pins, right?
Yes.
And you're gonna need a name tag too, because if you don't have a name tag, you're not gonna sell real estate.
Yeah.
Oh, and make sure you get a shirt.
I had shirts, name tags, I had pins, I had hand sanitizers, notebook pads hanging out. I mean, anything you can think of with your logo on it, car stuff. I had everything in it, passing it out, and it wasn't really worth it. It was more about me talking to people. I would hand it to them and then run off. Like, I wouldn't even talk to them. I'd be like, "We're realtor," and run off.
Turn around and
right.
Where'd you go?
Right. Like, I was nervous. I did big events, and I had these big poster boards out, and nobody was walking up to the table, and I'm just sitting at the table instead of getting out, talking to people, and really trying to build the business.
Yeah, well, we're going to get to the mistakes we made, which I know you said that's a mistake that you made, but we got other ones. So let's go a little more vulnerable. So
Okay.
What is one mistake you made that you wish you could take back?
Well, the first mistake I made was I went to this big company thinking I'm going to do this big luxury deals and all this stuff, and they want you to look a certain way and, do your hair a certain way instead of really working on myself and working on how to build relationships with customers. That was literally the first mistake I made, was going to the big company.
All right.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about not treating it like a full-time job?
So you have to treat real estate like a full-time job. The whole time, like, I've been in it, the first 2 years, I had other jobs. I had 2 jobs at one time, 3 jobs at one time. And
how do you sell real estate with 3 jobs?
You can't. You can't. I've sold 1 house with those jobs, and so you just can't do it. You have to, like, eventually quit. Once you get so much money saved up, you do have to quit and jump fully into it, because I'm at the job trying to answer calls. They won't let me be on the phone, so I'm sneaking on my watch trying to check. Like, it was just crazy, and you just can't do it. And then I had a few clients leave me, honestly, because they said I wasn't available enough.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And for me, just, some things, I made mistakes as well, because I sell a lot of real estate, and it's been a journey for me, is not setting boundaries.
Yes.
I mean, I remember, and I have 3 boys, and I want to make sure I'm a mom and present in there. I know you have a son too, and that's easy to do too, because it's easy for a client to call you at 8 o'clock at night. I mean, I remember, and I'll get real vulnerable here, breastfeeding my youngest at like 9 o'clock at night on the phone with a lead. I couldn't miss a lead. Like, I'm right here, and just not setting those boundaries and say, hey, you know what? This is family time. And you can get burnout real quick that way as well. And that's something you've got to learn in the beginning too.
Yeah.
To set some boundaries. You want to be available, but is 9 o'clock at night really a time? I mean, that's something you got to think about with your business.
You definitely do.
Any thoughts on that, or?
Yeah, I've had those experiences too, as to where I was just like trying to go all day and just do it, but it's just, you really have to set your time. Between this time and this time, this is business. This time, this is family. Now if you get a contract in, or somebody says, I want to put an offer in, you can stop for a second, but you really have to have those times set out for what is for what.
You do. And you can actually control your schedule. That's something you can absolutely learn. Meaning, if a client says, hey, I want to see a house, instead of going, hey, what time do you want to go?
Right.
Like, you can say, well, how does 1 o'clock or 5 o'clock? Because if you have an event at 3 or something, now, because if they said 3, what are you going to go? I'm not available, or no, or you're then trying to, whatever you had, you then put that on the back burner. There's probably some important thing with family, right? Or an appointment with yourself, which is important as well. You've got to take care of yourself to go over the needs of the client. This way you're still taking care of your client, and it's on your schedule as well. Because you'll find very, very quick, like we talked about, you could be running around like a chicken with your head cut off, and that doesn't equate to sales either.
It does not.
All right. So I want to talk about some tips for new agents. So what's a tip that you have for a new agent?
Well, one, get a plan of what you're going to do. Get out there, talk to the different brokerages. Don't just jump into something. Actually go sit down. This is a great brokerage to talk, to first. Tell me about houses.
I didn't pay you for that.
No, you did not.
Okay, I'll let you know. I'm not.
I actually came here first, and then I went to the big brokerage, and they were just like selling this big luxury lifestyle. And I honestly wish I would have came here first, came back here and signed up first. And I eventually, as soon as I left them, came back here. But yeah, really think about what you want. There's so many avenues and ways to go in real estate. So you really need to sit down and think about, like, what's going to be my plan? Like, how am I going to do this? What are going to be my hours? Like, what am I going to do? You just really get a plan and actually stick with it.
Yeah, and I think it's important not to compare your journey to other people's journeys.
Absolutely.
Do you find yourself doing that at all?
So I did, and I got burnt out, honestly, after the first year when I spent that $13,000. I see these people selling all these houses. I got discouraged, and I really hate that I did that because I was looking at everyone else like, well, why am I not doing this? Why am I not doing this? Not knowing that some of these people had already been realtors for years and years and years, and they didn't sell anything either in the beginning, Yeah. So you can't really compare yourself to other people. You have to focus on your journey and just really put your all into your journey instead of everyone else.
I think you're absolutely right. And for me, and this is a big thing too that a lot of agents miss out on, is lead generation. You have to, that is your lifeline.
Yes.
And I feel that so many agents are so afraid to lead generate. You've got to learn lead generation, and you've got to love it, and you got to live it every day. And I know I teach with Ninja Selling that just lead generate every day, even if it's just for an hour. For an hour is better than nothing. And you mentioned earlier you would hand a card and run. That's not lead generation. No, you have to have a conversation. You have to pick up the phone and make a phone call. Build connections, build relationships. That's what got me started. I really believe the success, because when I jumped in after my first year, I had about 30 plus sales my first year. And I didn't do like go and spend. I'm not trying to, a bunch of... I lead generated, just got comfortable, called everybody I knew, let them know I was a real estate agent. One of my first few clients, my buys and sells were from, my past job. So, because I just let them know, and then lead generated every day. Just, you have to be consistent. You have to lead generate.
I think a lot of people, I know for me, Monica, are scared to talk to people. We're new. We really don't know a whole lot. We're scared they're going to ask us this certain question. Because for me, text, I was doing text. But you can't build a relationship over text. So now I'm getting more comfortable to where I'm picking up the phone, calling people. And then, here we have script practice, and it's not like a script you're reading. We're actually every morning getting on the call, and you can practice. We're acting like we're calling people with other agents, and they're doing scenarios that they had before, and we're put on the spot, and we got to figure out how to say it, what to say. So that's something that really helps.
Well, that's what we did today, and every day, like you said. But it's like real life scenarios. So we go to the database, we find a client that maybe an agent hasn't been able to connect with, and we pull them up and say, okay, I'm going to pretend to be this client. You're going to call me. What are you going to say? How are you going to get me re-engaged? And I'm going to tell you, consistency is key as well. And I tell these stories over and over again, the people that know me. But I've had clients in the past where I met with, and then did a showing, and they don't respond to me. They don't respond. I'm calling, they don't answer. I'm texting them, they don't answer. And I would keep on it. But I'm adding value. I'm not just going, hey, you looking to buy a house? Hey, this house just came to the market. I think you'd like that. What are your thoughts about this house's basement? Whatever, trying to get them to engage. And they didn't. I'm like, something's wrong with me here. They don't want to be my client. And I'm telling you though, you keep that going, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, they're calling you going, hey, I saw this house. And I was top of mind because I stayed in front of them consistently.
And consistency is the thing. I literally just recently had a lady, I was talking to her every single day. She said, well, no, give me 2 or 3 months and I'll get back. And we loved each other. I took her to see about 5 houses, nice houses. And I just reached out to her and I'm like, hey, I'm back in it. Are you ready? And she was like, I'm closing next week. So that was the deal I missed out on because I just wasn't consistent. And had I probably just kept being consistent with her, I would have had her.
But instead, she probably went on to Zillow or Realtor.com and just found the next agent that's one of them, and just went with them, saw the house, and I'm glad you shared that story though, because it happens. It happens. We're not immune to this, and please, if we can learn from our mistakes, please do, but
Please.
just stay consistent.
You have to be consistent.
Because that was probably like a $10,000 paycheck.
Yeah,
That would have covered your first year expenses.
Yes, the house was an $800,000
Oh my
home we were looking
goodness.
at, and I knew her. She actually knew me. We knew each other outside of real estate, and she still decided to go with someone else because I just hadn't contacted her in a couple months.
Fortune's in the follow up, and that, I think you hit it right on the head too. That you get a relationship, you could know them, but if you still don't follow up.
Yep.
That's, ouch. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. That hurts, but I bet you won't do that again.
No, I won't do it again, and I kicked myself. I said, this is your fault. You fell off for those months and did not contact her, so I had to eat that when I missed out on a
nice paycheck. Yeah. And I think, too, if you are struggling, I think it's important to find a mentor or join a team as well, because there's so much you can learn. And we're constantly learning it, and it is hard to do it on your own.
Yeah. That's the one thing I really love about this company. Y'all set us up with a team or a mentor when we come in. And most places you go, you have to pay for that. They give them half your money and all this other stuff, but not here. Like, we're set up with that. As soon as you come in, if you're, either a ninja or a partner, then you get a team lead and you can get a mentor, and they walk you through every single step. And my mentor, she helps me, I can call her anytime and be like, look, I need help with this contract, I need this, I need that, and she's available.
All right. So if you're thinking about getting into real estate, or you're already in real estate and just not where you want to be, or if even you are seeing some success but really want to take it to the next level, again, remember these hints, stay consistent. Real estate can be incredibly rewarding. Mm-hmm. It's not easy. It definitely isn't. You have to prepare yourself, but stay consistent. Mm-hmm. And remember, you're building for your future.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. And focus on you. That's the main thing. Focus on your journey and not anyone else's. You're going to see all this stuff on the internet and these, deals coming through and all these podcasts and all this stuff, but you have to focus on your journey, building yourself up.
Yeah. Yep. And remember, you're not alone, and don't do it alone.
Don't do it alone.
Because, I know a lot of brokerages, and a lot of people feel like, I'm in it for myself, I'm all alone. That does not have to be the case.
And if you're feeling that way, then you probably need to switch your brokerage, honestly, because that's how I felt. I felt like if I wasn't one of the good old boys at the other brokerage, they paid me no attention. You need to go somewhere where you can actually talk to your broker. Yeah. If y'all need Monica, I can go knock on her door at any time, and she's willing to talk to you, or get help from someone else in the brokerage. A lot of people don't help you at those bigger ones. So this is close knit, and we're all like pushing each other. I know here. So, I think you should really consider where you're at if you are feeling alone.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. That's a great point. You don't have to spend a lot of money to be successful in real estate. I think that's another point to hit home.
Don't spend $13,000.
You do have to usually pay for your MLS.
Yes.
But find a brokerage that can help you with the other stuff, because it's not about buying the pens, right? It's about how you lead generate and how you market yourself, not buy materials. Right. And I think that's important. Right. Well, anyway, we're going to wrap it up. Okay. Thank you, Monet, for having me.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button to our YouTube, and also follow us. Yep. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, TikTok. And if you have any comments or questions, call anytime. Leave us a message. We're here to help you and make sure you are successful in real estate, because it can be a very lucrative career, but it can be very scary also. So just let us know how we can help. And thanks again, Monet.
Thanks.